Consistency is the key to success, but staying consistent isn't always easy. We all face moments when it feels like giving up would be so much easier. But let me tell you something. The ability to keep going day after day, even when you don't feel like it, is what separates the successful from the ones who never reach their full potential. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build the kind of consistency that turns small efforts into big results. We'll talk about why defining your purpose is the first step, how small actions lead to major breakthroughs, and why you need to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. We'll also discuss how celebrating your progress along the way will fuel your motivation and help you stay on track. Stay tuned to hear more on how to celebrate your progress along the way will fuel your motivation and help you stay on track. If you've ever struggled with staying consistent, or if you feel like you're losing momentum, this video is for you. By the end, you'll understand exactly how to push through those tough days, stay inspired, and keep making progress toward your goals. Consistency isn't just about showing up every day, it's about showing up with purpose and intention. And I'm here to help you do that. So stay with me. Let's dive in and make consistency a habit you can depend on no matter what life throws your way. Number 1, define your purpose clearly. In the journey of consistency, one of the most important things you can do is to define your purpose clearly. Without a well-defined purpose, it's easy to get lost, distracted, or unmotivated when things get tough. Your purpose is the foundation that supports your efforts and keeps you grounded when challenges arise. It's the reason you do what you do and the fuel that keeps you going even when you don't feel like it. The first step in defining your purpose is to ask yourself some essential questions. What do I truly want to achieve? Why do I want this? How will my life be different once I accomplish this goal? These aren't questions that should be answered quickly or superficially. Take the time to dig deep into the core of what you want and why it matters to you. And the 7th core question is, what else is possible? What else is there more? A clear purpose doesn't just provide direction, it also serves as a constant reminder of why consistency is essential. When the road gets difficult or when temptation to quit arises, your purpose will be the anchor that keeps you focused. It will remind you that the effort you're putting in today is part of something greater. Once you've defined your purpose, write it down in a way that speaks to your heart. A vague statement like, "I want to be successful," won't carry the same weight as a specific personal purpose statement. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I want to feel healthy, energized, and confident in my body so I can live a long, active life and be there for my loved ones." This statement is far more powerful because it taps into your emotions and gives you a compelling reason to take action. Your purpose should be tied to something meaningful. It could be the freedom to travel, the ability to provide for your family, or the desire to contribute to a cause you care about. When your purpose is linked to something you deeply care about, it becomes a driving force that moves you forward, even when it feels like progress is slow. Having a clear purpose also helps you make decisions. When you know what you want and why you want it, it's easier to prioritize your time and energy. For instance, if your purpose is to build a successful business, you'll naturally find it easier to say no to distractions that don't serve your goal. You'll be more focused and less likely to get sidetracked by things that aren't aligned with your vision. It's also important to regularly revisit your purpose. Life changes, and so can your purpose. Every now and then, take a step back and ask yourself if your purpose is still aligned with your values and your goals. Are you still passionate about it? Is it still driving you forward? If not, it might be time to reevaluate. Define your purpose in such a way that it inspires you. It should excite you and make you feel empowered. The stronger your emotional connection to your purpose, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. Think of it as a source of energy. When you're connected to your purpose, you're energized to take action every day. When you face moments of doubt, go back to your purpose. Reflect on it and remind yourself why you started in the first place. Ask yourself, how will I feel once I achieve this? What kind of person will I become? This reflection helps you stay aligned with your goals and strengthens your resolve. Having a clear purpose doesn't guarantee that things will be easy. There will still be tough days, moments of failure, and challenges to face. But with a clearly defined purpose, you'll find that you can weather those storms. You'll be able to stay grounded and keep moving forward, no matter what comes your way. When you define your purpose, you're setting the foundation for everything else. It becomes the framework that guides your decisions, fuels your actions, and helps you maintain consistency. Your purpose is the why behind your how. It's the internal force that propels you toward your goals. And when you're connected to it, nothing can stop you from reaching your potential. Number 2, start with small, steady actions. Let's talk about the next essential step to building consistency. Starting small and staying steady. When you're working toward a goal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the size of the task. But the truth is, success isn't about doing everything at once. It's about making small, steady progress each day. When you focus on taking small actions, you remove the pressure of having to achieve perfection immediately. Instead of trying to climb the entire mountain in one leap, you focus on taking the first step, then the next, and the next. That's how real progress happens. One small action at a time. Think about a big goal you have right now. Maybe it's to build a business, improve your health, or develop a new skill. Whatever it is, ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do today to move closer to that goal? It could be as simple as writing down a plan, going for a 15-minute walk, or practicing a skill for 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be something. Start simple. The beauty of starting small is that it lowers the barrier to entry. Big goals can feel intimidating, but small actions are manageable. And once you start, you'll often find it easier to keep going. Action creates momentum. That 15-minute walk might turn into 30. That 10 minutes of practice might spark an hour of focus. But even if it doesn't, you've still done something, and that's what matters. Steady actions are also about building habits. Consistency isn't about working harder for a short time, it's about working steadily over a long time. When you take small actions regularly, they start to become part of your routine. And when something is a routine, it requires less effort to maintain. You don't have to think about it or fight with yourself to get started. It becomes automatic. Here's an example. Imagine you want to read more books. Instead of setting a goal to read for 2 hours a day, start with 10 pages a day. 10 pages might not seem like much, but over a month, that's 300 pages. A full book. Over a year, that's 12 books, all from a small, steady action. Small actions also help you build confidence. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You create a sense of accomplishment that fuels your motivation to keep going. It's like laying bricks. Each brick might not look impressive on its own, but together, they build something strong and lasting. All right, finally, the rest of this lecture will focus on building your imagination. Now let's talk about steadiness. Starting small is important, but staying steady is what turns effort into results. Steadiness means showing up every day, no matter what. It means doing the work even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate. Steadiness builds resilience, and resilience is what keeps you going when things get tough. To stay steady, focus on the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see results right away. But remember, results take time. Trust the process. Celebrate the fact that you're showing up and doing the work. That's where the real growth happens. Starting small and staying steady also teaches you patience. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in wanting quick results. But the best things in life don't happen overnight. They take time, effort, and persistence. When you commit to small, steady actions, you're committing to the long game. You're saying, I'm willing to do what it takes for as long as it takes. Number 3, focus on daily improvement. Now that we've talked about defining your purpose and starting small, let's move on to something equally powerful, focusing on daily improvement. This is where consistency turns into mastery. Every single day is an opportunity to get just a little better than you were yesterday. Improvement doesn't happen in one big moment. It's a series of small, intentional choices made over time. What you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. The secret to growth is in the small, consistent actions that push you forward, not leaps, but steps. These daily efforts compound over time, creating progress that may surprise you. And start by asking yourself, what can I do today to improve by just 1%? Think about your current goals or habits. If you're learning a skill, spend a little more time practicing today than you did yesterday. If you're working toward a fitness goal, challenge yourself to do 1 extra rep or run an extra minute. These tiny improvements might seem insignificant on their own, but over time they lead to significant change. Success comes from 2 things, inspiration and inspire. Inspiration and inspiration. Here's the key. Focus on progress, not perfection. It's not about being the best today. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Improvement isn't a straight line, and it's not without its challenges. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is the intention to improve and the action to back it up. When you focus on daily improvement, you shift your mindset from results to effort. This is a game changer. Instead of worrying about outcomes you can't control, you put your energy into the actions you can control. This approach reduces frustration and keeps you motivated, even when progress feels slow. To stay consistent with daily improvement, take a few moments each morning to set a small goal for the day. This goal should be specific and actionable, something you can measure. At the end of the day, reflect on what you accomplished. Did you improve in the area you focused on? If so, celebrate it. If not, think about what you can do differently tomorrow. This process creates a cycle of learning and growth that keeps you moving forward. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone learning to play the piano. On the first day, their hands feel clumsy and they can barely play a few notes. But if they practice a little every day, focusing on improving one small thing, like finger placement or rhythm, they'll start to see progress. In a month, they'll be playing full songs. In a year, they'll feel confident. It's the daily effort that makes the difference, not a single practice session. Focusing on daily improvement also helps you stay motivated. When you see yourself making progress, no matter how small, it fuels your desire to keep going. It creates a sense of achievement that builds your confidence and reinforces your belief that you're capable of growth. Another benefit of focusing on daily improvement is that it keeps you present. Instead of getting lost in thoughts about the future or worrying about how far you still have to go, you concentrate on what you can do right now. This focus on the present moment helps you stay grounded and engaged with the process. Consistency and improvement isn't just about doing more, it's about doing better. Look at the areas of your life where you want to grow and ask yourself how you can improve your approach. Is there a skill you can refine, a habit you can strengthen, a distraction you can eliminate? Improvement isn't just about adding, sometimes it's about simplifying and focusing. And what I realized in that moment is that compassion is about simplifying and focusing. Remember, it's not about comparing yourself to others. Your journey is your own. Measure your progress against where you started, not where someone else is. Every step forward is a victory, no matter how small. Number 4, build discipline through repetition. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build through consistent repetition. It's the result of doing what needs to be done over and over until it becomes a part of who you are. Let's break this down so you can understand how to make discipline a permanent part of your life. Repetition is powerful. The more you do something, the more natural it feels. At first, new habits or routines might seem uncomfortable or even difficult. That's normal. But as you repeat them, they become second nature. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't have to remind yourself or struggle to do it. It's automatic. That's the power of repetition. The first step to building discipline through repetition is to create a clear plan of action. Decide exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. Don't leave it up to chance or feelings. If your goal is to exercise daily, decide on a specific time and stick to it. If your goal is to learn a skill, set aside a dedicated block of time every day. When you make a plan, you eliminate the need to decide in the moment, which reduces the chance of giving in to excuses. Repetition is about showing up consistently, even when it's not convenient. Discipline grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every time you follow through on your plan, you reinforce the habit and strengthen your self-discipline. On the flip side, every time you skip, you weaken that momentum. This is why starting small is so important. By committing to something manageable, you increase your chances of sticking with it. One of the most important aspects of repetition is consistency and timing. Doing something at the same time every day helps your brain recognize it as part of your routine. Over time, your body and mind start to anticipate it, and the effort required to begin decreases. This is why repetition is so effective. It creates a rhythm that's hard to break. Another key to building discipline through repetition is to focus on effort, not feelings. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. That's normal. But discipline isn't about how you feel, it's about what you do. Push yourself to take action, even when motivation is low. Each time you do, you strengthen your ability to act regardless of your mood. The next time, track your progress as you repeat the actions. Write down what you accomplish each day. This simple act serves as a visual reminder of your commitment and reinforces the habit. Seeing your streak grow can be incredibly motivating and keeps you focused on the bigger picture. Repetition also teaches you resilience. When you repeat something regularly, you start to encounter challenges and setbacks. Maybe you miss a day, or maybe the task feels harder than usual. That's okay. The key is to get back on track immediately. Don't let one misstep turn into a habit of quitting. Discipline is built in the moments when you choose to keep going, even after a slip-up. Think of repetition as training. Just like an athlete builds strength by lifting weights repeatedly, you build discipline by repeating the actions that align with your goals. With each repetition, you're training your mind and body to prioritize what matters most. You're teaching yourself that consistency is more important than perfection. Building discipline through repetition doesn't mean you have to rely on willpower forever. Over time, the actions you repeat become habits, and habits require less conscious effort to maintain. This is the ultimate goal, to create a system where the behaviors that lead to success are automatic. As you build discipline, remember to celebrate your consistency. Take a moment to acknowledge the effort you've put in, even if the results aren't visible yet. Progress isn't just about outcomes. It's about the commitment to show up and do the work. Number 5, set non-negotiable daily goals. If you're serious about being consistent and achieving what you've set out to do, you must make your daily goals non-negotiable. These are the commitments you honor, no matter what happens, no matter how you feel, and no matter how busy life gets. This approach separates those who wish for success from those who work for it. Non-negotiable goals act as anchors in your day. They give you a sense of structure and purpose. Without them, it's easy to drift, make excuses, or postpone what truly matters. When you set clear daily goals that you're determined to achieve, you create a standard for yourself. You're telling yourself and the world, "This is important to me, and I will follow through." The first step is to decide what these goals are. They don't have to be big, but they must be meaningful and aligned with your larger purpose. For example, if you're trying to improve your health, a non-negotiable goal might be to drink a certain amount of water every day, or to move your body for at least 30 minutes. If you're building a skill, it might be dedicating 20 minutes daily to practice. Keep your list of non-negotiable goals short. Focus on what truly matters. When you have too many goals, it becomes harder to give each one the attention it deserves. 3 to 5 daily goals are usually enough to keep you focused without feeling overwhelmed, especially if you are lacking clarity in your goals. Then clarity is harder for you to generate and you won't motivate. What makes these goals non-negotiable is your commitment to them. Treat them like appointments you can't cancel. Think about it. If you had an important meeting with someone you deeply respect, you'd make every effort to show up, right? Now apply that same level of respect to your own goals. Honor your commitments to yourself as if they were promises to someone else. To succeed with non-negotiable goals, plan for them. Identify the best time in your day to complete each goal, whether it's morning, midday, or evening. Choose a time when you're least likely to be interrupted or distracted. Block out that time and protect it. If other tasks come up, reschedule them. Not your goal time. Not your schedule time. Life is unpredictable and challenges will arise. That's why it's essential to prepare for obstacles. Think ahead about what might get in the way of your daily goals and decide how you'll handle those situations. For example, if you know you'll be traveling, plan a way to stick to your goal, even in a different environment. Being prepared makes it easier to stay consistent. Embracing uncertainty allows you to grow and prepares you for uncertainty. Uncertainty is one of the biggest benefits of non-negotiable daily goals is the discipline they cultivate. When you make something a priority and stick to it day after day, you strengthen your ability to focus and follow through. It's not just about achieving the goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who does what they say they'll do. Tracking your progress is a powerful way to stay accountable. Write down your non-negotiable goals every day and check them off as you complete them. This simple act creates a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated. Over time, you'll see a streak of success building, and that momentum will drive you forward. Don't underestimate the importance of reviewing your goals regularly. At the end of each day, reflect on what you accomplished. Did you meet all your non-negotiable goals? If so, take a moment to celebrate that success. If not, ask yourself why and what you can do differently tomorrow. This process of review helps you stay aligned with your intentions. Setting non-negotiable goals isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. There will be days when things don't go as planned, and that's okay. What matters is that you don't let one off day derail your efforts. Get back on track immediately and recommit to your goals. Here's the key takeaway. When you set non-negotiable daily goals, you take control of your time, energy, and priorities. You create a foundation for consistency, progress, and growth. These small daily commitments may not seem like much at first, but over time, they add up to something extraordinary. Number 6, overcome excuses with strong will. Excuses. They're the barriers that stand between you and your goals. They sound reasonable, even convincing at times, but make no mistake, excuses are the enemies of progress. If you're serious about being consistent, you must develop the willpower to rise above them. Let's talk about how to do that. Excuses come in many forms. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start tomorrow. They're clever, aren't they? They appeal to your feelings, to your desire for comfort, and to your need for rest. But here's the truth. Every time you give in to an excuse, you move further away from your goal. The good news? You have the power to stop them in their tracks with a strong will. And the good news? You have the power to stop them in their tracks with a strong will. A strong will doesn't mean you don't hear excuses whispering in your mind. It means you choose not to listen. You remind yourself why you started. You focus on the bigger picture. A strong will is built by practicing self-discipline, and self-discipline grows each time you say no to an excuse and yes to action. The first step in overcoming excuses is to recognize them for what they are. Temporary feelings, not truths. Just because you feel tired or unmotivated doesn't mean you can't take action. Feelings come and go, but your commitment to your goals should remain steady. When an excuse pops up, pause and ask yourself, is this feeling more important than my goal? More often than not, the answer will be no. Every single emotion is available to the mind. Unless you lose control, you will never be responsible for emotions. Another way to tackle excuses is to prepare for them in advance. Think about the excuses you're most likely to make and come up with strategies to counter them. For example, if you know you tend to skip workouts because you're too busy, schedule your exercise at a time when interruptions are least likely. If you struggle with procrastination, set a timer and commit to working for just 5 minutes. Often, starting is the hardest part, and once you begin, the excuse loses its power. Excuses thrive on uncertainty, so one of the best ways to eliminate them is by creating clear plans. When you know exactly what you need to do and when, there's less room for hesitation. Write down your tasks, break them into manageable steps, and commit to completing them. Clarity beats confusion every time. It's also important to surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Keep your purpose visible. Whether it's a vision board, a written list, or a simple sticky note on your mirror, these reminders serve as a powerful antidote to excuses. When you see your goals every day, you're less likely to let fleeting feelings steer you off course. Let's talk about willpower for a moment. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you overcome an excuse, you're exercising that muscle. It might feel hard at first, but with practice, it becomes easier. The key is consistency. Don't wait for willpower to magically appear. Cultivate it by taking small, decisive actions daily. When excuses start to creep in, shift your focus to the benefits of taking action. Imagine how you'll feel after completing the task. Think about the progress you'll make, the confidence you'll build, and the momentum you'll gain. Visualizing the rewards of action can help you push through the resistance. Accountability is another powerful tool for overcoming excuses. Share your goals with someone you trust, someone who will hold you to your commitments. Knowing that someone else is rooting for you and expecting you to follow through can be a strong motivator. When you're tempted to make an excuse, you'll think twice about letting them, or yourself, down. Finally, remember that progress isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when it's hard. Excuses will always try to pull you back, but your strong will can keep you moving forward. You don't have to be flawless. You just have to be consistent. Here's what I want you to do. The next time an excuse crosses your mind, challenge it. Remind yourself of your purpose. Take one small step toward your goal and prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. With every excuse you overcome, you're not just moving closer to your goal. You're building the mindset of a champion. Number 7, track progress and stay accountable. If you want to stay consistent and reach your goals, tracking your progress and holding yourself accountable is non-negotiable. These two practices not only keep you on the right path, but also help you measure how far you've come. Without them, it's easy to lose focus, get discouraged, or even forget why you started. Let's dive into how you can use these tools to your advantage. Tracking progress is like shining a light on your efforts. It gives you a clear view of where you are, what's working, and what needs adjustment. When you track, you're no longer guessing, you're working with real information. Start by deciding what you'll measure. For example, if your goal is to save money, track every dollar you save. If you're building a fitness habit, record your workouts. The more specific you're tracking, the better. Keeping a daily or weekly log is one of the simplest ways to track progress. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or an app, whatever works best for you. Write down what you've done, how much time you've spent, and any challenges you faced. This record becomes a visual representation of your consistency. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge, and those patterns can guide your next steps. Why is tracking so powerful? Because it turns abstract goals into tangible achievements. Let's say your goal is to write a book. Writing 1,000 words in your log every day feels real. It's something you can see, count, and feel proud of. That pride builds momentum, and momentum fuels consistency. And this is the formula of consistency. You have to create habits that create determination. But tracking isn't just about celebrating wins. It's also about identifying areas where you're falling short. Maybe you notice you're skipping workouts on weekends or spending too much time scrolling on your phone instead of working on your side project. These insights give you the chance to course correct before small problems become big ones. Now, let's talk about accountability. It's one thing to set a goal, but it's another to stay committed to it. Accountability bridges that gap. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a system that ensures you follow through on what you said you'd do. But how do you do it? One of the best ways to stay accountable is to share your goals with someone else. Choose someone who genuinely supports you. Maybe a friend, family member, or mentor. Tell them what you're working on and ask them to check in with you regularly. Just knowing that someone else is watching can be a strong motivator to stay consistent. If you prefer to keep your goals private, become your own accountability partner. Set specific deadlines for your tasks and treat them as non-negotiable. For example, instead of saying, "I'll work on this project soon," say, "I'll spend 1 hour on this project every day at 7 p.m. Write it down, and at the end of each day, check off whether you followed through. Small commitments like this build trust in yourself. Step 4, define your goals. Reflect on what you did to achieve them. Rewards can also play a role in accountability. Promise yourself something meaningful when you hit specific milestones. For example, if you stick to your daily habit for 30 days, treat yourself to something you enjoy. Rewards give you something to look forward to and reinforce your effort. Built in. But accountability isn't just about external checks. It's about internal honesty. Be real with yourself. If you skip a day or fall off track, don't make excuses. Acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and get back on track immediately. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up more often than not. First and foremost, you have to reduce the volatility of your life. Tracking and accountability go hand in hand. When you combine them, you create a system that supports your growth. The data you collect through tracking fuels your accountability, and the accountability keeps you motivated to keep tracking. Together, they form a cycle of progress that keeps you moving forward. Tracking and accountability are the powers that you need to achieve great things. This is why freedom is the most powerful thing in the world. It's also the most important life is in the world. And it also the most important life is. Here's what I want you to do. Choose one goal you're working on right now. Decide how you'll track your progress, whether it's a journal, an app, or a simple chart. Then, pick an accountability method that works for you. It might be a friend, a deadline, or a reward system. Start today and commit to sticking with it. Number 8, embrace challenges as growth opportunities. Let's face it, challenges are a part of life. No matter how carefully you plan or how much effort you put in, obstacles will show up along the way. But here's the key. Challenges aren't roadblocks. They're opportunities for growth. If you approach them with the right mindset, they can make you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. When a challenge arises, the first instinct might be frustration or discouragement. That's natural. But instead of seeing the challenge as a reason to stop, see it as a chance to learn. Ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can I grow from this experience? This shift in perspective can turn even the toughest situations into powerful lessons. Challenges test your commitment to your goals. It's easy to stay consistent when everything is going smoothly, but the real test comes when things get hard. How you respond in those moments determines your growth. Do you give up or do you push through? When you push through, you're not just moving closer to your goal, you're building character. One of the best ways to embrace challenges is to reframe them. Instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I do about it?" This puts the power back in your hands. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start feeling like someone who can rise above it. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've faced in the past. Think about the times you overcame something difficult. How did you feel afterward? Stronger? Wiser? More confident? That's the reward of facing challenges head on. Every time you overcome one, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Another way to embrace challenges is to break them down. Big obstacles can feel overwhelming, but when you divide them into smaller, manageable parts, they become less intimidating. Focus on what you can do today, right now, to take one step forward. Progress, no matter how small, builds momentum. My 4 best friends, no matter how small, builds momentum. It's also important to remember that challenges often bring hidden opportunities. Maybe the setback is teaching you patience. Maybe the obstacle is pointing you toward a better way of doing things. Stay open to these lessons. They might not be obvious at first, but with time, you'll see how they fit into your journey. Surrounding yourself with the right people can make a big difference. Talk to those who faced similar challenges and learn from their experiences. Their stories can inspire you and remind you that you're not alone. Support and advice from others can help you see possibilities you might have missed on your own. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows when you use it. Every time you face a challenge and push through, you're strengthening that muscle. The more resilient you become, the more capable you are of handling future obstacles. What once seemed impossible starts to feel manageable. Finally, don't forget to celebrate your progress, even in the face of challenges. When you overcome a difficult situation, take a moment to acknowledge your effort and determination. These celebrations, no matter how small, fuel your motivation to keep going. Number 9, stay inspired with your vision. Consistency becomes easier when you're deeply connected to your vision. Your vision is the reason behind your actions, the driving force that keeps you moving forward even when the road gets tough. To stay consistent, you must stay inspired by that vision every single day. First, make your vision clear and vivid. It's not enough to have a vague idea of what you want. You need to see it in your mind as if it's already real. Ask yourself, what does success look like? How will it feel to achieve it? What impact will it have on my life and the lives of others? The clearer your vision, the stronger your connection to it. Write it down. Don't let your vision stay as a fleeting thought in your mind. Put it into words. Describe it in detail. This act of writing makes it tangible. Keep that written vision somewhere you'll see it every day. On your desk, in your wallet, or as a note on your phone. Let it serve as a daily reminder of why you're doing what you're doing. Visualize it often. Take a few moments every day to close your eyes and picture yourself living your vision. Imagine the emotions you'll feel, the pride, the joy, and the sense of accomplishment. This isn't just daydreaming, it's reinforcing your motivation. When you can feel the excitement of your vision, it becomes easier to stay consistent in your actions. Inspiration is not a one-time thing. You need to feed it regularly. Surround yourself with things that remind you of your vision. It could be a photo, a quote, or a symbol that represents what you're working toward. These small reminders keep your vision fresh in your mind, especially on days when motivation feels low. Seek out stories of others who've achieved similar visions. Their journeys can inspire you and show you what's possible. Read their books, watch their interviews, or listen to their podcasts. Learning about their struggles and triumphs can reignite your own passion and remind you that persistence pays off. Sometimes life gets busy and it's easy to lose sight of your vision. When that happens, take a step back and reconnect with your purpose. Ask yourself, why did I start this journey? What am I hoping to achieve? How will my life change once I succeed? These questions bring your vision back into focus and reignite your drive. Break your vision into smaller milestones. It's great to have a big dream, but achieving it can feel overwhelming. Smaller milestones give you something to aim for in the short term. Every time you reach one, it fuels your confidence and keeps your inspiration alive. Celebrate your progress along the way. Don't wait until you've achieved your ultimate vision to feel proud. Every step forward is worth acknowledging. These moments of celebration remind you that you're moving in the right direction and that your effort is paying off. Share your vision with others who support you. Talking about your goals with trusted friends or family members reinforces your commitment. They can encourage you, offer advice, and remind you of your potential when self-doubt creeps in. Finally, be patient with yourself. Great visions take time to achieve. There will be ups and downs, but staying inspired by your vision ensures you keep going. When you wake up each day, take a moment to remind yourself of the bigger picture. Let your vision guide your actions and keep your consistency strong. Number 10, celebrate small wins regularly. Consistency doesn't just come from pushing through every obstacle. It also comes from recognizing and celebrating the small wins along the way. When you stop and celebrate your progress, you reinforce the habit of consistency, and you remind yourself that you're moving in the right direction. Too often, we focus only on the big picture, the grand goals, the end result. But progress is built on small, daily actions, and each small win deserves to be acknowledged. These small wins don't just show you that you're making progress, they keep you motivated and remind you that the journey is worth it. Start by identifying what your small wins are. It could be completing a task you've been putting off, hitting a daily goal, or simply staying consistent for a week. These aren't small in the grand scheme of things. They're crucial steps that get you closer to your ultimate goal. By celebrating them, you acknowledge that every action you take is meaningful. How can you celebrate these small wins? It doesn't have to be a big gesture. It's about taking a moment to recognize your effort. Maybe you give yourself a quick mental high five. Maybe you treat yourself to something small that you enjoy. Or maybe you share your success with a friend or family member. These celebrations help you stay connected to your progress and keep your momentum going. Celebrating small wins also serves as a reminder that success is a series of steps, not a giant leap. It's easy to feel discouraged if you only focus on the end result, but when you celebrate your small wins, you begin to see that every step counts. You start to realize that progress is happening, even when the big goals still feel distant. Another benefit of celebrating small wins is that it builds a sense of accomplishment. Each time you check something off your list or achieve a small goal, you feel a sense of pride. This feeling of accomplishment fuels your confidence and reminds you that you're capable of more. The more you celebrate, the more you start to believe in your ability to succeed. You also start to create a positive feedback loop. The more you celebrate your wins, the more motivated you are to keep going. You get addicted to the feeling of progress. As a result, you naturally stay more consistent. You begin to associate the effort with rewards and success, which reinforces the behavior. When you celebrate your small wins, you're also practicing gratitude. You're taking time to appreciate what you've done, no matter how small. This gratitude shifts your focus from what's not done to what has been accomplished. It helps you maintain a positive attitude, which is essential for staying consistent in the long run. Don't wait for perfection before you celebrate. Perfection is a myth. If you're waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect achievement, you'll miss out on the power of celebrating incremental progress. Consistency is about progress, not perfection. Every small step, no matter how minor it seems, deserves recognition. Pick a few small dominoes and speed up your contribution to the universe. Analysis paralysis. Sometimes, celebrating a small win can be a powerful motivator to push through the harder days. Let's say you're feeling discouraged and your goal feels far away. Look back at the small wins you've achieved along the way. Celebrate the fact that you've made it this far. This reflection can reignite your determination and help you keep moving forward. Create a habit of celebrating your wins every day. It could be as simple as writing down one thing you accomplished at the end of each day. Over time, these celebrations will add up, and you'll find yourself more motivated and more consistent in your efforts. Any words? Remember, celebrating small wins isn't about being self-congratulatory. It's about acknowledging your effort and maintaining your momentum. It's about reminding yourself that every step you take matters. When you celebrate the small things, you strengthen your ability to stay consistent and build the life you've envisioned.